back, and the ticker's on again. Turn it off. So, that was Boy Raised.
It was.
I think it was a very interesting film. Perhaps not one you if you'd read about it, you probably knew everything that was going to happen.
Yes.
But a film that had an important message and worth watching nonetheless. That's my patented 10-second review. Now, I would like to know, before I open the comments, although get your comments in, so you can queue them up so I can read them out. But I would like to know what you thought about the film.
I thought it was interesting because I'd read quite a lot about it before, well, not loads, but and that like it hasn't been universally praised. So, and I think one of the things that people didn't love about it is, this is a weird way. I'm going to start with what people didn't love, and then I'm going to say what I thought.
Okay, proceed.
Is they felt that perhaps that the main character was a little bit too passive.
Yeah.
And they didn't like how the parents were portrayed in like a very fair light. So I think people wanted that, they thought that Joel Edgerton kind of let the parents get away with it a bit by showing both sides.
Yeah.
Like he kind of didn't want to offend anyone. And sort of did it, like
so that it would kind of, the way that I read it was that it was almost like he wanted to appeal to as wide a range of audiences as possible in order to get that message seen by as many people as possible. And if it showed the parents in a more negative light, then it might turn off a certain section.
Yeah, and the thing is, as well, is you've got to think, what was he trying to do? Was he trying to make it as close as possible to the book? And if so, do the parents need to be demonized? That's the other question, because
if that's not what the character felt.
Yeah, if that's not what the character felt. And also for me, on that point, I think that it's actually a good thing to show both sides of it and show that the parents are just people. They're making decisions that they think are the right thing for their child. And I think it was a more interesting exploration of just how powerful your beliefs can be. So, this is what happens when people have very, very, very strong anti-gay ideology.
Yeah.
And actually, I think that, we've seen a lot of films, and there's so many people and characters that you can sort of hate and have been kind of designed for you to really root against.
Yeah.
But I thought that it was actually quite refreshing for this film not to do that, and it allowed you to put yourself into the shoes of the parents. And I was thinking, like, what if it was like the other way around, where you had a son who was a right-wing Nazi, and he was saying to you, I want you to accept me for being a Nazi. Like, that's... And I'm not saying that it's okay what the parents did, but I'm saying that is like how far their beliefs are the other way. So I was trying to think, okay, what is that actually like, But I think that the film handled a lot of things really well. I do feel like the central character, what's his name? See, I can't remember his name.
Jared,
thank you. I think it was a really, really good performance, but I think that they definitely could have done more with his character.
Yeah. We've got a couple of interesting comments already in our live text chat. Fabricated says, not easy to watch in places, but I think that's an understatement. But overall, a more accessible film than St. Francis or Rocks, probably because it was a bit more Hollywood.
See, probably. Yeah.
Definitely was more Hollywood. Definitely was more polished. For better and worse, I would say. Yeah. Catherine Ashling with an interesting point. Yeah. If you try to talk to everyone, you talk to no one.
Yeah. And I kind of also, I do see that in it, to be honest. Like I feel like St. Francis and Rock spoke to me so much more. I felt like the themes, I thought that the issue this was an issue-led film. I thought the issue was interesting. I thought it made me, think about things in a certain way. But I felt very passive in this film. I felt like I was passively watching these characters and thinking, okay.
Would you say that's like because... Sorry to talk over you.
Yeah.
Would you say that's because the main character was quite passive in the film? And that was my reading of it anyway.
Yeah.
That the main character was something to whom events happened. And it was only very much towards the end of the film where he really started to show more agency.
Yes.
And almost only in the epilogue.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. And maybe that is why you kind of take that back seat when you're watching. It is interesting. But also, and that's the thing is, I always think on the flip side of it, when you're 18 and you don't know what's going on, a lot of things were happening to him and he wasn't really in control. And he didn't know what to do. And he thought, I have to do this gay conversion therapy to make my parents love me, or that's the right thing, or it's like how are you supposed to know?
We've got heaps of comments to get through.
Let's
so
go.
what I will do is I'll read through some and then get your response as well, so that we can give everybody a
lots of comments.
Good airing. Lots of comments. Good. I'm very happy. Ben said there are so many Christians in America that'd be offended if the parents were shown too negatively and without sympathy. And on that note, David A. said, I was surprised at the redemption for the mother. All too often you hear that neither parent supports them and they run away. Yeah.
Yeah, I was surprised. And the funny thing is, if it hadn't been a true story, I would have thought, oh, Hollywood ending.
C. Nolan says, well, that wasn't depressing, I say sarcastically. It dealt with those subject matters really well in a way that kept the audience's interest and made us feel something at the same time. Laura Dilly said, I feel like there was something missing, but I don't know what.
Yeah, I think that it was that he didn't take risks. And from, hearing or reading interviews with Joel Edgerton and him saying, I feel like I could have pushed the central character a bit more. And Jared was supposedly in real life was like a bit of a class clown and a bit of a joker. And he didn't want to put that in because he didn't want to make light of it. But it might have just given it that. And made him feel like maybe more of a real 3D character.
On that note of Jared's character, Asya says, I would not agree with the criticism re the main character being passive. My take on it was that he was young, kind, and confused, and was trying to please his parents whom he loved. Yeah, which I think is also a fair reading.
I also get that reading of it too.
And I'm just trying to find... There was another comment that said... just David A. said, I agree with that, Asya. So I just wanted to add to that. Cheryl Sage says, much preferred Rocks.
Yeah, interesting. I think that Rocks felt... The funny thing is, Rocks wasn't... Now, this is interesting. Rocks wasn't a documentary or based on a true story. This was. Rocks felt more like it was a true story.
Yeah.
I felt like I was literally... watching her, and that was her journey. And do you know what I mean? So,
yeah, it's interesting. I feel like that there's maybe a bit of a kind of a split between those for whom this film really worked and those for whom it didn't quite hit the mark. And I would agree with you, as well as Laura Dilly, that it didn't quite hit the mark for me. That's not to say that it wasn't extremely powerful and an extremely relevant story, because I firmly believe that both of those things are very true. And it also, I think, was very effective in shining a light on this gay conversion practice.
Definitely.
And the fact that it's still legal both in so many states in the US and still in the UK. That's a really important conversation that needs to be had.
Definitely.
And I just... for me, really, like you said, would have wanted a little bit more something behind it. I'm really struggling to say what it is that it was missing. Maybe it was that.
Yeah.
But I just didn't quite engage with the characters in as much of a way.
I think maybe we're a bit biased with Rocks because that was a British film, so it spoke so much to us and our culture, perhaps. But I agree with you, but I still think... again, all the issues, I found it fascinating as like a study to like see what it's like inside these conversion therapy places, see what the people are like who run it, like and all of those thoughts and beliefs that you kind of know that they have because you hear about it, but when it's sort of like said in such plain terms, that thing about like lining people up in order of masculinity, like there were just so many points like that you were just like, wow, this is really, it is just fascinating how that can be how people think.
Yeah. We've still got more comments to come.
Yep.
And I want to make sure that I get everybody's comments read. Ben said, I thought it was really telling that the boy, I'm guessing that's Jared, said that he had no hate for his father. I was really impressed with his honest conversation with his dad at the end. Really well delivered. I would agree as well. Yeah, very, very well delivered. What did you make of the performances as a whole? I
thought really good. All of them, very good. Mm-hmm. Particularly Jared, I thought he was great. I can see why Nicole Kidman kind of wanted to do that role, like more towards the end with her. I was surprised as well that she had a kind of redemption story and that she stuck by her son in the end, and that I thought that was really powerful. And to that end, Fabricati said perhaps the mum represented the idea that the only way for bad people to prosper is for good people to do nothing. Mm-hmm. And how she just knew in her bones that it was wrong, and that's the other thing, is like that's just so commonplace, isn't it? And just the falling in line and the not knowing what to do and what to say, but that's just, I feel like that's such a widespread problem, and I don't want to say in all religious communities, but in certain religious communities, especially like the ones depicted in this film, how it's almost a cult-like mentality, and it's about survival. It's about fitting in to survive, and you can see how very, very difficult that is if you are gay or don't fit, that mold. So there's some chat about the title of the film and who the erased boy was. Yeah. Some saying, could it have been Cameron was the erased boy? But MC said maybe it's Jared because he becomes a gay man rather than a converted person. Had Laura interesting... Or the therapist is desperately trying to erase his own thoughts. Homosexuality, yeah. And Laura Dilly makes the interesting point that Cameron was more interesting a character. Yeah. And maybe it would have been a more traditional story if it just followed his character. Yeah. But also maybe that would have been more effective. I don't know. Yeah. Cheryl, there's a lot of comparison between this and Rocks, and I like that because I like that there's a through line. Yeah. And I feel like good. All of the three of this second part of the series, St. Francis, Rocks, and Boy Erased, have all had a kind of similarities that you could draw through. Yeah. Cheryl says, I felt last week was more believable and true to life. Then David said, I think Rocks was a subject area less portrayed, whereas this film was telling a story that's more widely known about. Yeah. Yeah. Angela Kennedy said, I think the director didn't go down making it into a traditional American drama, but a pretty intense long pace of sticking to the book. So glad he started to challenge the conversion people. Yeah, I know. I didn't think that was... And that was the other thing. It's like you didn't realise that was within him. At all, really, and I wasn't actually expecting it. And the thing that I thought that was done really well in terms of building tension, where there were so many times in a scene where it could have gone either way, and you didn't know which way it was going to go. And the ones I'm thinking about is when he was in the toilet with the Red Hot Chili Peppers guy, and you thought, oh my god, and it was so uncomfortable, and he was, really sort of dominating him, and you just thought, is he going to be assaulted again? What's going to happen? And then the other one was when he wanted to leave, and he was trying to get his phone and trying to call his mum, and I was thinking, are they going to what's going to happen? Are they going to hold him down? Are they going to, and it was this really good thing of you just didn't know which way it was going to go, and you really felt like in his situation that was so precarious, in all of those cases it could have gone either way. And that moment, I was obviously, as everyone was, just desperate for him to call. And then when Nicole was there at the door, I was like, oh, open it!
I think that was a very effective way that the film handled those, especially because they went with one of those scenes that could have gone either way was the rape scene.
Yeah, and because
that happened, you were then on the edge of your seat
exactly,
on those other moments, and I think that was very effective.
And I think, well, I had a point on that, but maybe we'll make that later.
You can make it now.
That was very, very well done, and like you say, you were then always looking out for him, even when he was going on those jogs at night and things. I was like, why are you jogging at night? But he's not a woman. But you know, it was still that feeling, and I think that it was done really well, especially I thought the rape scene, and like you said, how you were like, oh gosh, is this it? What's going to happen? But what it did for me was sort of really kind of exemplified that message that LGBTQ people and gay people are also vulnerable. And just because they're men, it doesn't mean that they're not more vulnerable. They're often targeted. Like that toilet scene, again, you're targeted. He was called a faggot, like horrible, language. But also it was the menace behind that, what you're thinking, what's he going to do to me? Is he going to beat me up? And there's countless stories that, these things do happen. People get beaten up, all sorts. And I think that was a really, really good sort of underlying message of the film, that it's really important that we protect all members of the community. And if you're a feminist, you should also be, a very strong supporter of the LGBTQ community for that reason. And when people see, and it's again back to, we almost every week, that our stories and their stories, if you only are protecting your one small group of just white women, then you're not really a champion of equality.
Equality for some is not equality.
Yeah, exactly. And I thought, I just thought that that's one of those concepts that, because I know there's a lot of debate at the moment, J.K. Rowling keeps sticking her oar in, and there's a lot of discussion about, what about, trans people using women's toilets, and am I safe as a woman with that happening? And you have to think, but how safe is a trans person in a men's toilet?
Yeah,
not very.
How safe is a trans person in
any situation? Exactly. So that showing that vulnerability, and especially a lot of the time, it's young boys, it's teenage boys. It's not like big, strong men. It's little boys. So I think that was a really, really good part of the film. And if it does, like you say, speak to a wider audience, and that audience then sees that and maybe picks up on that message, then that's a really good thing.
Some more chat about those go either way scenes. And MC said it felt to me like the character was building up to the leaving scene. And making a comment about whether there's a comparison to Girl Interrupted as another film with gender, word.
Yep.
I don't know. I like you, I haven't seen Girl Interrupted, but I'd be interested if anyone has seen both. And
Girl Interrupted is the one with Angelina Jolie, isn't it?
I don't know.
And another famous actress. I've seen it, but like if that is the one, but like when I was a teenager, I'd have to watch it again.
Laura Dilly says, I definitely thought Flea was going to assault him in the bathroom. Yeah. Definitely. And that it was done very, very well. And Angela Kennedy saying the suicide, I guess Cameron's suicide was the turning point for him. Yeah. And also that point where he really was angry with his parents, or I thought I felt like he wanted his dad to take responsibility and say, this is what you are doing when you're collectively sending your kids to places like this. Look at what you've done. This is the outcome, Yeah, and I feel like the dad is a very interesting character as well, Russell Crowe's character. Very interesting. Lots of mixed emotions. And you just think no one comes out on top in a society like this. No one, and that's the thing is, and I was thinking about this again, because it's all just based on our thoughts and beliefs, and obviously we always think that we're right. So I was trying to think, okay, what if we're not right? Or, flipping it on its head.
But the difference is, I just don't understand how you can live like that and be happy. How any of those characters can be happy. And you feel for the dad because he's, you know, he's struggling. He's really struggling. And now he has to contend with the guilt of what he's done to his son. And he's also emotionally repressed. But you just, at some point, have got to think, sort yourselves out.
Sort yourselves out.
That's my message.
That's the message. That's the message of our final post-film commentary. But do keep your thoughts coming in. But I guess it's probably time to round off our live conversation about Voyeur Raised.
Comments coming through, but we're always on a bit of a delay.
I think I've been generally on top of the comments.
No, yeah, but as in...
What? What's
no,
this?
as in they always flood through afterwards.
All right. Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get Quizzy Rascal going, and if anyone has any other comments, I can dribble them in while we're going.
While we're doing Quizzy.
How does that sound?
Yep.
So it's just about time for Quizzy Rascal. And I hope you guys are ready, because it's going to be a big shock then when I press this next button.
Is it?
For the leaderboard.
Oh,
the leaderboard has changed, my friends. The leaderboard has changed. And we have C. Nolan at the top, joint top with David A.
And I had to put C. Nolan at the top because I had to keep the Davids together.
Because that's their their rightful place.
Exactly.
Dave Chapman now lagging behind, 5 points back.
And interestingly, if we'd have allowed David A to give his 20 points to... Who was it? Was it to Amy last week?
Yeah.
It was. Then actually he would be behind.
So
I'm glad he's glad he didn't do that now.
Captain Ashling, as you're in Daisy Tomps, round off the
Daisy
front page.
Has moved up.
Moving up in the world. We then have a lot of other regulars here in the second page.
Up from the third page is Malcolm Sage.
Malcolm Sage making a late charge.
Yeah, a late charge. And Treffers as
well. Strong
because
showing.
She picked up some big points. Points last week. Big points.
And on the third page, we have MC, Cheryl Sage. Dan Hobbs, who has not been with us for the last few weeks.
No.
Emmy Rasheen, Laura Dilly. We need to fix that typo on Laura Dilly. There's an E in it.
Oh.
Never mind. We will fix that. And Artemis Amazon.
You see, because I wrote it wrong down here.
There we go.
Yes.
So, we head to our first question.
Also, what is this on my notes?
John 0.
I've just got John at the bottom.
Because I was going to get points if no one got the answer, but they did.
But they did, and then you got 0.
Yeah, so straight shooting. The point is, at the end of this, is to get your answers in as quickly as possible. The top 3 will all get points. We will be discretionary to some extent. And there is a link to all of these questions. There is a connecting thread, much like Linky, the Big Potato game. If you can get the link first, you will get some bonus points. Before I go in, I'm just going to read out a couple more points on Voyeur Raised. MC said good low-key performances by all. I would agree.
Yeah.
Definitely. Not too much scene stealing, which is good. And Laura says, you wonder what they did to Cameron after he stuck up for Jared. Was he beaten again, etc.?
Oh gosh, yeah, exactly.
Could have been. But we move on to our first question. And the question is, which 2016 film also featured Nicole Kidman as the mother to an adopted Indian boy? Now, Nicole Kidman playing a mum in a different part, a very different part, but kind of similar in the same way. Supportive, troubled times, trying to get through it, that sort of thing. Dave and Ben are giving me grief for wearing a jumper. It's cold up here.
Yeah, I had to put my jumper on as well.
I do have a movie t-shirt on underneath, and I'm not going to do any more than that. And if
What if you get chilly?
if I get chilly, then I'm just going to have to suffer for succumbing to peer pressure. We already have 3 correct answers. And those correct answers... Well, we've got a lot.
Ooh.
Emily Birch was first,
Yeah.
and she put an emoji.
Ooh, extra 5 points.
Well, there you go.
I'm feeling very
You're feeling fruity.
generous.
You're feeling fruity.
So that's 15.
We also have some of our leaders. So this is interesting.
Ooh.
Dave Chapman, 2nd.
Yep.
C. Nolan, 3rd.
Oh.
David A, 4th.
David A must be fuming.
Fuming. Azia and Trethers, also correct.
Oh.
As was Cheryl. And Ben just said Raw.
Just raw.
Just Raw.
Well, always trying to be different, Ben.
Next question. What is the name of Charlize Theron's character in Mad Max Fury Road? Mad Max Fury Road, which was recently voted one of the best films of the decade.
Really?
Yeah, and I thought it was absolutely superb. Now, I know there are some people who opinions may vary on this.
Well, you know my thoughts on the kind of sidekick women and how they're portrayed.
Yes, the wives. Very troublesome.
The wives.
Very troublesome. The rest of it, I think, is incredible. I think it's an astonishing feat of filmmaking. Astonishing. Yeah. And the fact it was live action was incredible. We have some questions. David A says, outrageous, I'm 3rd on mine. Catherine Ashling says, who got the points from the Instagram post?
Oh, yes. Catherine Ashling got points. And also, it was Natalie as well.
Wow, okay.
What?
This is very interesting. C. Nolan says, we have already had this question from a previous Quizzy Rascal. Now that is some proper Quizzy Rascal
What, this one?
enthusiast questioning, yeah. I didn't remember this. So I think maybe extra points for C. Nolan for being such a Quizzy Rascal veteran enthusiast.
Points. Wow.
And we do have...
That I'm not surprised because you love this film so much that you were like, how can I put Mad Max into it?
So we have some more news. The top 3 was C. Nolan, Dave Chapman,
oh my gosh, these guys,
and
really...
David A. Now, also correct was Cheryl Sage, who's been correct twice without being in the top 3. She was 4th this time. And Fabricator said Max. And Malcolm Sage put impersonate Furlosa. Ooh. And there is a apparent Max. It's a typo. And as he says, do I get points for spotting a typo in the question? Now, Fabricator also put Max. I think that both of them should get points.
Get points, okay. 5 points.
It's big points being chucked around today.
It is. Where's Adrian?
While Casey's figuring this out, I'm going to go to the next question because there's a delay on you guys' feeds. Now, this is a question just for you guys to guess. And I'm going to say closest person gets it. Unless there's 3 people who get it actually right. I'd be surprised if that's the case. In what year is Moulin Rouge set? Now, don't forget there's...
about 100 years out, will I guess?
About 100 years out. Don't forget there is a link between all of these questions, and if you get the link, big points. Like, maybe game-changing points.
Now, what was the first question?
Well,
yeah.
You know the link. I told you the flipping link. Yes! You looked through the questions, you went, I don't know what the link is.
No, that was last week.
No, it was this week. 100% was this week.
Whisper it to me.
No, because these microphones are extremely sensitive. Now, just any guess. Guess any year, guys. You're not expected to get it right. You're expected to be closest. I've only had one answer, and it hasn't put the century on. So I'm not sure I'm going to accept it.
Ooh.
Wow. Okay. Okay. The answers are now coming through.
Yeah. Are you going to wait and then see who's closest?
It's incredible because we have 3 correct answers.
No.
Yes. And the correct answer is 1899. And the first 2 were Malcolm Sage and Cheryl Sage.
There they are. There they are, the Sages.
Daisy Thompson said 1900 and she was 1 year out.
Oh.
And she was 3rd. Fabricator said whatever year is on the Le Chat Noir poster. But 3rd correct answer was C. Nolan with 1899.
Picking up the big points again.
Catherine Ashling was fourth. Correct answer.
See, Nolan's picked up so many points in the last two that I'm running out of.
That's lots of people guessing that the link is big cats. Cats is not the link. Big cats is not the link. Ben says, when will you reveal the wild cat link? Not the link. That is not the link, guys. It's not the link.
What's the cat got to do with
What?
math?
What's cat got to do with it? So next question, because there's a delay. Who is Priscilla in Priscilla, Queen of the Desert? That's my question. My question, you may have beef with the lexicon of this question, and you would have good reason to be. But I'm trying to keep it as disguised as possible. Let that be an obtuse clue for some people. Casey's laughing because she doesn't even understand what I've said.
No, I do, because you told me, but I wouldn't have earlier.
Ben said, is the link is Nicole Kidman in all of these films? Incorrect. That is not the link. Link is films. Also incorrect.
Well, it is. I mean, it's
No,
A-link.
it's not what's written on my card, so it's not correct.
What is
There's no card. Sorry?
it? Write it down so I can know. I'm too impatient.
So we have somebody who's just guessed the link. Correct. Well, broadly, I'm gonna accept it.
Yeah. Who's it?
Asia said, "Is the link something to do with Australia?" And that is correct.
Yeah, you did tell me. It's a boring link, though. It's not so interesting. That's why I forgot it. But I'm giving 20 points to Asia.
No.
No?
I said big game-changing points. It's 50 points for guessing the link.
50?
Yes.
I'm sorry.
Yes.
I do apologise. Almost kicked you out of 30 points, Asia.
Big time.
Okay.
And the cut-off for this question is coming very soon. Fabricati said, "Is the link LGBTQ+?" That is not correct. And the hammer is coming down on this question in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I've already realised, having said that, we've already got 3 correct answers before I did all that carry on. Correct answer was Priscilla is the name of the bus. The correct people, Fabricati was first, miles ahead of everyone else, like about 10 minutes ahead.
There you go.
Then we had C. Nolan and Dave Chapman.
Oh,
David A missing out on the
David
points this
A.
time. As yet, yes, you get a gazillion points, but rounded down to 50 because it's a gazillion.
And what was the link? Just Australia or Australian directors?
Australian-made films.
Australian-made films.
But I was accepting Australia because it was
close.
close.
Yeah.
Cheryl Sage says Terence Stamp. No. But he was a character in Priscilla, Queen of the Desert, so you weren't a million miles out. And Natalie just put Coach. Which is kind of right, but also you were too late. But good work. You know, you were almost there. So, round 2 is the lightning round. This is a very obvious answer to a question. We just want whoever's the first one to get it. No ifs, no buts. It's whatever's on our screen. And
there's no emojis needed.
no
just the
emojis
answer.
needed, just the answer. And I'm going to give you this answer in accent form, this question.
Oh, you're going to do the accent?
Fill in the blanks. You call that a... This is a... Catherine Ashling's saying they're going to have to go soon.
No.
David A's going to miss out on some points, is all I'm saying.
Get your answer.
Get your answers in now, because also I'm going to try and flick over to the emoji question soon. We've already got a correct answer on this, so we can sort everything else. We'll move on sharpish. Fabricati got it correct with knife. Ben put spoon. I see you've played knifey spoony before.
Ben just likes to play his own.
He likes to play his own
game,
alternative answers game.
which is why he's not on the first page of points page.
Dave put knife. Artemis Amazon put knife.
Always with the typos after this.
So this is interpretive dance, and now this is no time limit. We just need the emojis. Your answer has to be in the form of an emoji or a series of emojis. Text not needed, just emojis. And the question is, name this 1995 movie starring a sheep herding pig. Now, it says name this film in the question, or name this movie in the question. You don't have to actually just do the name as the emoji, because that's going to be kind of short. You can give the plot of the film, you can give any kind of interpretive reasoning.
Okay.
Yeah?
Yep.
Yeah?
Yep.
Yeah? Ben says, I'm not on the first page because conspiracy. I think Ben may have had some lemon shandies tonight.
He's on the old lemon shandy.
And Gary Hobbs, in like a bullet,
Oh, yeah.
with the answer.
Oh, you have to...
With the answer, babe.
Babe, just babe, no emojis.
Paying no heed to the points that I made on the title page saying, answer in the form of emojis, please, Gary.
Just babe, but you can't tell me who they are.
So from now on,
Yeah.
no names.
Okay.
Okay. First one, woman and baby's bottle.
Yep.
Second one, pig face, pig nose, side of a pig.
Okay, so all
the pigs.
Yep.
Next one is flamenco dancing woman.
Okay.
Yeah.
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 I do love her.
Next one, someone has just put text Shandy Bass. Oh no, that's what he's been having.
He's been
He's been having his lemon shandies.
But what's bass?
That's the name of the thing.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. Next one, pig face, single emoji.
Right, just...
Could be because it's a one word name of the film, maybe?
Yep, yep.
I don't know. I'm just guessing. Next one,
Yep.
pints doing a cheers,
Uh-huh.
and then two sheep. Oh, no. It's a ram and then a female sheep. So we have bar, ram, you.
That's at number one at the moment.
Next,
That's really good.
next one, 4 bacon emojis.
Yeah, that just makes me feel a bit guilty.
Okay, so who do you think that one was?
What, the bacon emojis, Ben?
Yes, correct.
Negative points. -5. Because he's trying to make me feel bad. -5. Pointspiracy.
Pointspiracy. Next one we have pig face, side of a pig, pig nose, baby.
Okay, yep.
Then we have pig, sheep, dog, nighttime scene.
Oh, okay.
Might be New York.
Because remember when they were overnight in the stream, the storm with the stream?
I don't remember.
Yeah, and the dog, that's how the dog lost her hearing because she stayed out with all the sheep.
I don't remember.
John!
I don't remember this film. Next one we have flamenco woman and baby emoji.
Yep.
Then we have. Oh, I quite like this one. I'm sorry. I shouldn't qualify. We have pig.
Yep.
Then 2 love hearts. Then a load of sheep.
Oh, that's
like,
good, yeah.
Maybe 15 sheep.
Yeah, that's good as well.
Then we have 3 monkeys looking sideways.
Oh, you see, I just can't not choose the monkeys. Funny monkeys. Wait, which one is it though? Which monkey emoji exactly?
It's the body of the monkey.
Yeah.
Sat like this.
Yeah.
So it's sat like this.
Yeah.
And then it's looking
like
like
this. Oh, I love that one, yeah. Okay. I've made my decisions.
Then we have sheep, point, pig, farmer, dog, duck, cat, flamenco woman.
Oh, what's the duck in it? It's like the front one at the end.
Gary's giving me grief saying he was first on his screen with knife, and so he's not playing by anyone's rules. Then we have sheep, pig, sheep.
Uh-huh.
And then there's a lot of callbacks for Wang Dor Woon Man. A lot of people.
Yeah, because that was just so good.
And then... Oh, okay. Sorry, I've had a clarification on one.
Yeah.
Okay. So, clarification on this one. It was sheep point was supposed to be Bar Ram U, as in point U.
You. Yeah. Yeah.
And
It's
also,
very good.
Ferdinand the Duck was a character in the film.
Right.
And Amy is saying Ben is saying the pressure got to Amy this week, and she has failed to submit an answer.
Because it was just too much.
Too much pressure. Too much to live up to. Difficult second album.
Yeah.
So I'm going to need your answer here. I can't go through all of them again, but
I think I've got my top 3.
Okay, what's your top 3?
Number 1, the Bar MU. I thought that was very clever.
Original Bar Ram U.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you want to tell you who that was?
Yeah.
Fabricating.
Big points.
Slow cooking Katie.
Yeah, one more thing. Yeah.
On your sheet.
I'm going to do 25.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Then I thought just the one with all the sheep.
Yeah.
I mean, I know
the one that I said that I liked.
Was it the one?
Pig, love, hearts, and then
yes,
15
that
sheep.
one. Yeah, I thought that was good.
Sorry
that's
to everybody
15.
else for not saying that I also liked theirs, but I did like this one. That was Asia.
15 points. And then the 3 monkeys.
Oh, you know who that was.
But can I still choose it?
It's your game.
Well, because it's the third one, it's just 5 points.
Okay, that was Malcolm Sage.
He knows me so well.
And C. Nolan says, nothing will ever beat Wang Dong Wu Man or Monkey with a Hammer. So.
Yeah, exactly.
So there you go.
That was really good.
Fabricated says, round 4, John acts out the emojis.
Yeah, that would also be great. I think that could be an addition.
And Ben is fuming that the bacon emojis got him negative points and not real points.
Well.
Wow, and Angela Kennedy has just come in late doors with like a whole zoo of animals.
Oh wow. That's like
And it's almost like they're in colour order as well.
yeah, because it sort of goes to white, pink, yeah, and then the greens at the end. It's very artistic. That would have taken a long time as
Yeah.
well.
Can I award some
yes,
points?
you can award some
I would
points.
like to award 10 points to that one.
Yep. Let's put that on.
And C. Nolan says the true anxiety is waiting a full week to see the leaderboard.
Yeah, because you won't know. That's how we keep them coming back.
So we will be back for our final.
Yeah. Oh, we're on the big boy now.
Back on the big boy. We'll be back for our final TS Movie Club before you are all allowed to see real people again.
Crazy.
And
it
is
just 1 year from the start.
just 1 year on from our first one. A year,
Yeah.
368 days from our first movie club tonight.
Wow.
375 will be our final one.
That's cool.
Of season 3. We will be back for season 4.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. We will.
And
then we're going to end on a more fun film.
we are ending on a more fun. Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, I would have to say, maybe not the best film I've seen in the last year, possibly my favourite film I've seen in the last year. It's that good. It's astonishing. Like, I love it. I absolutely love it. I can't say enough good things about it.
Well, I'm excited.
So Dave says, it's almost like you guys make up the rules as you go along. And Ben just went, Shawshank Redemption. For the t-shirt points. Yes, that is correct, Ben. You have recovered from your -5 for the bacon.
So now he's just on 0.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a shame. I was looking forward to reducing back to where you were when you started.
And Daisy Thompson with the hashtag fun fact, the guy who played Farmer Hoggett went veggie after filming Babe.
Really? Oh, but like if you spent that amount of time with a cute little... I know, that's why the bacon's very sound.
So, please make sure you come back for our final one next week for Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. I promise you it's going to be a lot of fun, and you're going to see me just raving about a movie for probably an hour.
And we'll be announcing the Quizzy winner.
The Quizzy Wizard will get a major prize, and this is an exclusive for you guys who have stayed to the end of this live.
Yeah.
Major prize for the winner. And it is a real physical prize.
It is.
Something to look forward to for next week. Make sure you got your point scoring fingers And we will see you next Friday for our final one of season 3. See you soon, guys. Bye.